Back to breaking news. The U.S. Transportation Secretary with an update on January's deadly midair collision over the Potomac River. It comes hours after the NTSB warned serious changes are needed. There's a news conference that's taking place right now. Let's listen in.
With our restrictions on Route 4 here. So about 36 hours after the crash, we restricted this airspace, and we're going to continue with those restrictions. That would be from Haynes Point to the Wilson Bridge. Again, this is the area right off of runway 33 where the crash happened. We're going to have a notice to airmen with the specific guidelines on how they're going to fly this route. I talked to Secretary Pete Hegseth earlier today, talked about giving the military, the DoD, a route around this restricted airspace, which I think the military is going to be fine with. We will have exclusions for presidential air travel, vice presidential air travel. If there's a life-saving mission or law enforcement, we'll have exclusions for that, and we'll take the appropriate action at DCA to shut down air travel to make sure we don't have, again, helicopters and airplanes crossing paths. So this is going to continue into the future, again, making sure air travel that over the last 2.5 years, there have been 85 near misses or close calls. And that is close calls that are within 200 feet of vertical separation and 1,500 feet of lateral separation. Incredibly close for aircraft. 85 of them. I think the question is, when this data comes in, how did the FAA not know? How did they not study the data to say, hey, this is a hot spot, we're having near misses, and if we don't change our way, we're going to lose lives? That wasn't done. Maybe there was a focus on something other than safety. But in this administration, we are focusing on safety. And so what the FAA has deployed is AI tools to make sure we can sift through the data and find hot spots in our airspace at our airports. So if there's another DCA-esque situation out there, our AI tools will help us identify those and take corrective actions preemptively as opposed to retroactively. Also, another incredibly important safety lesson that we've learned from the DCA airspace crash. I want to talk a little bit about how we move forward, because there's been a number of air incidents that have taken place over the first several weeks since I came into this department. And there's no unique, they're all unique. There's no common theme to the crashes that have taken place. But I think what it's done for us is made us focus on our air traffic control system. And when we take a look at that system, no doubt it is antiquated, it's old, it's anywhere from 25 to 30 years old. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. We're using floppy disks in our system. We have headphone jacks that we're plugging and unplugging. This is, think back to the 1980s, if you were even alive. That's the system that we're using for air traffic control. Now, I want to be clear, our system is safe, right? It's old, but it's safe. But we do have signs to say, looking forward, we don't want to lose lives because we have a break in the system. So it has to be upgraded, and it's going to take money. And a lot of promises have been made from DOT and the FAA about upgrades to the system that have never happened. Again, this should have happened 4 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But right now we're at a point where we can actually do it, and we can do it really fast. Again, we're thinking, 3.5, 4 years we can get this completed. A brand new air traffic control system, gold-plated, envy of the world. And so what we're looking at doing is they're not simple. This is high-tech stuff, but we are going to move from copper wires. We're going to go to fiber, wireless, and satellite, right? A combination of those three in our system. We have radar. Again, it works, but this is from the 1970s or early 80s is the newest radar that we use. We are going to get state-of-the-art, brand-new radar to feed into our cabs, into our towers, into our scopes. We need state-of-the-art new terminals for our air traffic controllers. So they have all the right screens with all the best technology behind it.
All right, you're listening to Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, who said moments ago that they will continue to restrict airspace near DCA to help prevent another tragedy from happening. You also heard him say that moving forward that they're going to have to focus on the air traffic control system. He says it's old, it's antiquated, it needs improvements, and those improvements should have probably taken place years ago. Their goal moving forward is to also put in place a new air traffic control system. We're going to continue to follow this story as we learn more information from Secretary Duffy.